On today's episode, we continue the Metallica Eras journey with Jeremy Madson and Billy D'Elia putting the 90s studio albums, aka the MTV Era, aka the Jason Newstead era, where you could actually hear him era of Metallica, to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test. Okay. Fortune, fame, mirror vein, gone insane, but the memory remains. Thanks, guys. Okay, so well, everyone, welcome to another episode of the Nostalgia Test Podcast. This is a special episode continuing the Metallica journey here. Right now, you can actually listen to the first one, which was the thrash era episode, which we went through Kill 'Em All, Lightning. I was about to say Lightning Crashes. I keep doing.
Oh boy. 96.
No, we went through Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Injustice for All. And also, you can check out the Black Album episode, which is also out and killing it. So yeah, I mean, here we are at the, I don't know, maybe the turning point right now of Metallica's career.
Oh yeah.
Going over the Black Album, Load and Reload, which is, I think Jeremy, and I said in the intro, Jeremy put it perfectly to what era this is, the 90s era, MTV era, and you can actually hear Jason Newstead era, not mixed out.
The 90s studio album era, which is important because they had some interesting side projects or side work that they were doing in the era too, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. Actually, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see one of those things behind Jeremy right there. Garage Inc. I just feel like it's also like their costume era. I just feel like they wore a lot of weird costumes or something was going on. But
they were on the reverse trajectory of Kiss, right? Because Kiss took the makeup off in the 90s and Metallica put it on.
It was also like, if you look at the thrash era, it was literally like, what are they wearing? It's like fucking jeans and t-shirts, and like that's it. And then you're like, whoa, what the fuck are they wearing? Like this picture. Like you're like, what is that?
What's the candles? Why are they wearing these weird shirts, popping collars? Like it's, I don't know what it is. It looks like a bad remake of Scarface that they're trying to be in or something.
You're right, it does.
I think I said somewhere it looks like everybody's trying to make a Nine Inch Nails video at this point in time.
Ooh.
I re-listened to everything on Spotify and like and subscribe. And I didn't watch the videos, but they play little clips, and I just be like, oh, I don't remember that. I don't. The one for Mama Said was interesting. There were actual horses and cowboy hats, which is like, okay, laying on a little thick there, but. That's the idea.
I mean, some of these videos in this era just burned in your head too, right? Because it's like you remember watching them multiple times growing up, especially the Black Album ones, and then even some of like the other Load and Reload ones I just remember from high school, So
yeah, it's definitely a weird time because I think it's also the one that obviously we're of age. All these out, especially with Load and Reload, we were in high school, right? Like you said, Billy. Like so. These albums are burned into our brains as like the Metallica albums that came out during that time of our lives, like in high school. Yep. So
this was the entry point.
Weird. Yeah.
The first one
Load was 95, so we were in 8th grade, I think it dropped.
I think it was 96 and Reload was 97. So
yeah, 96, 97.
As we were starting high school.
Okay, that's what it was.
So these were the first ones we saw come out. I mean, I'm sure we talked about on the Black Album episode. We were all aware of it. But we were, 9 years old, so we didn't fully understand the phenomenon. But then, and I said this, even the process of listening to him, and then you get hooked on the Load and Reload albums, and then you take a step back and you listen to Black, and you're like, oh, wait a second. And
you keep going, as we all did probably, except Pico. I know you would listen to because we were talking about last time in the thrash hour where you were friends with Jason Martinez. You had heard some of the earlier stuff, but I remember it was basically like kept going backwards. And I use this reference, I think on the thrash episode where I said Metallica is like the gateway drug to heavier stuff, where it's like the weed, and then next thing you know, you're like freebasing Slayer. It's almost like this is like the gateway to the Metallica era for people our age, because it's like you heard this. And you go back, you're like, whoa, wait a second. And then you go further back, you're like, whoa, wait a second. And it's like, it kind of like gets you on and turns you on to it, and then you get into the back catalog.
Load and
Yeah.
Reload are actually Natty Ice and Natty Light in musical form.
That's a good definition.
Well, which one's the light and which one's the ice? I mean, that's really important to know because
I mean,
Natty
Load's
Ice.
the light.
Yeah,
The
because
load
ice
is the
tastes
light,
like
yeah.
shit, so it's definitely reloaded.
So, but ice
spoiler.
is also stronger,
Oh
and
shit!
it
You're
is the
right.
one that. And so there's some. It's weird, like, and you only understand this reference if you drank Natty Light and Natty Ice, which I don't recommend. I don't think it
No.
passes the nostalgia test at all.
I
That
think
beer.
ice beer passes the nostalgia
Like
test.
I think I could choke down an Natty Light. I don't think I could choke down an Natty Ice at this point in my life.
No.
Like Jesus, it tastes like piss.
He's actually talking about Reload, but we'll get there.
Yeah,
But just a recap from the thrash episode. If you haven't listened to it, it passed the nostalgia test. The whole era, every album passed. I mean, they were like Jeremy said that if you go back and you listen, Jeremy had a really great quote. He said, if the thrash era doesn't pass the nostalgia test, if these albums don't pass the nostalgia test, there is no podcast, there is no Metallica. There's
why are we
nothing to
making
talk
4
about.
episodes if it wasn't any good?
Exactly. So, and we each ranked them, and I think if I remember mine right, my ranking was Master Puppets, Justice, Lightning, and Kill 'Em All. And it was a really difficult choice because of, my reasoning was like there was one skip on Ride the Lightning, which was Escape, not Trapped Under Ice, Jeremy, which there was a shout out Quad Pro Quote Pod, I believe, who said one of their favorite songs was Trapped Under Ice. So shout out to them.
Nobody's perfect. I don't know if I didn't hammer. I thought we liked Justice.
no,
best, but
we were different. No, Pico is different than us. Where you and me made, which some people would say like it's. I mean, I think it's razor thin difference, but you and me both picked Justice, Puppets, and then I think Jeremy, if I remember correctly, you went.
I
you didn't go Puppets.
Lightning ahead of Puppets.
Yeah, I went
That's
Justice.
where I'm a rebel.
Yeah, I went Justice, Puppets, Lightning, Kill 'Em All.
Right.
I say
I
went
would've been
backwards
Justice,
now that I
Lightning.
think about it.
I was Justice, Lightning, Puppets, Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I don't think there's any wrong ranking here because I think,
No.
to
Except
me,
for the
if
ones
someone
that
made
just
an
look-
argument that Kill 'Em All is the best album, like I wouldn't tell that person like, hey, you're fucking dumb. Like, like
Grown
it's
on me, man.
it's
Grown
a
on me over
personal
the years.
preference, right? So,
Yeah.
but they're all fucking badasses. What it comes down to.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and for this one, we're doing Black Album, Load, and Reload. And that's it. We're not covering the live albums in this. And maybe we'll do the live albums separately. We have yet to discuss that. I'm not sure if they're, or even not the live albums and the cover album, Garage Inc.
Catch-all thing.
Yeah, which is weird too. And I'm looking at the live album coming out in '93, and I'm just like, and then S&M, and I'm like, there should have been more live albums. But
Dude, it really, to me, like, that is one of the reasons I still love Metallica to this day, because if you go see them live now, they're like 60 years old, and in my opinion, they still bring it. Like, obviously, Lars is not what he once was, right? But like their live show, to me, like, I never respect bands that don't sound good live, and like Metallica has always been road warriors and fucking killed it live. So I agree with you completely. Like, I think the live albums capture that energy. So I agree with you. I wish they had done more, because like live shit is like one of my favorite fucking collections. And like
Live shit was so comprehensive. It was like 40 hours long or something. So it was like they could have turned that into a whole box set of live albums, but basically it was just one. It's like, here's everything.
Well, I mean, that's like with
everything.
Slayer with like Decade of Aggression, right? I mean, it's a double album. It was unbelievable. It's crazy. And even when you listen to the Pantera live album, when they do
I listen to that all the time.
Suicidal Note Part 2, like live, I mean, that's the first time I ever heard that song. I was like, what is this?
It really captures the energy so much better of bands that kill it live. Like live albums are the shit, No,
absolutely. So
I was thinking one thing. I think this is a good entry point. When I started re-listening to Load, people talk about if you go from Justice to Black Album, you'd be like, what is this? If you go from Black Album to Load, you'd be like, what is this? But imagine if you listened to Justice and then fell into a coma for like 5 years, and then someone throws on Load.
God, you
would go back to sleep.
No, I mean that is a good point. Like, because even between the two, stark contrast. Like, all right, we did the Black Album episodes, but we still need to like cover it a little, right? So
Yeah.
like I started this off. I said, all right, I'm gonna listen to the last song of the thrash era, which is fucking Dyer's Eve, which is a fucking banger, right?
It's
So
crazy.
you put that on, and then Enter Sandman, and like, don't get me wrong, like, look, I think we've all heard Enter Sandman way too much. You go to any sporting event, like
Oh
you
my
fucking
God.
hear it, but like, it still is like it's a pretty good like to me. It's like one of the ultimate like sports anthems, right? But like I remember reading a quote once with Dave Lombardo from Slayer. He's like, I love the guys from Metallica, but the first time I put on the Black Album, he's like, I took out and I fucking threw it down the stairs. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I could see that. Like, I could totally see that. And this is where they start to lose the fans. Like, look, they gained God knows how many fans, right? But this is where
Mhm.
they start to lose some of the original people, which I put myself in those people's shoes, and I totally get it. Like, if you grew up with Metallica, with Kill 'Em All, fucking Lightning, Puppets, Justice, and the Black Album comes out, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like,
It is
why
not
is
a-
fucking Motley Crue and fucking Bon Jovi's producer producing this shit? And this is not the fucking band I know and love. So, like,
It is
I
not a thrash
understand where
album.
people are coming from. Totally
Yeah.
get that.
Not a thrash album, but what it is, it's the perfect album for the band that's playing for 1.6 million crazed Soviets in a military installation, basically launching the entire premise of Metalocalypse.
Great show, by the way. If you haven't watched it, check it the fuck out.
A
It's
great
just-
live show, Bill. Remember we went and saw them. That was
they
fucking
killed
crazy.
it, bro.
Yeah.
They killed it.
Hammerstein
Yeah.
Ballroom.
Hell
You can
yeah,
still
dude.
hear
That
it.
was
Impressive.
with Lamb of God, I think, too, maybe, and Mastodon. Yeah, it was a great show.
Polish those credentials, boys. You're
Oh, yeah.
legit. But yeah, I mean, it's just a huge sounding album, like from start to finish.
Yeah.
Whatever you
Yeah.
may think of it, it sounds like, okay, this needs to be played at maximum volume
Mhm.
in the largest possible venue.
I
Yeah.
mean, it is like you hear people that are like audiophiles that are like the Black Album is like one of the best produced albums like ever. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, that you know, for all this shit, you know, once again to people that don't know, when I was referencing the Motley Crue Bon Jovi producers, Bob Rock, where they brought him in to get a more polished sound, kind of make more what they say they want to make more streamlined songs, right? So kind
Yeah.
of totally changing from the Justice atmosphere of almost progressive metal, right? To like,
Yeah.
all right, we want to go streamline 3 to 5 minute songs. And Bob Rock did do a good job of giving it that big fucking sound, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I
Justice was virtuosic in the performance, if not the production. And this way, they kind of leveled those out, the playing field for those a little bit more.
yeah. I mean, the Black Album, it just sounds so good. It sounds great. I mean, after Justice, where the production value is like questionable, but the song structure is like amazing. It's long, it's like if you listen, I'm a Rush fan. So for me, if I put on like something by Rush, and it's a journey, right? That's what Justice is. You put on the Black
that's a different
Album.
band.
What is that?
Journey's a different band. Sorry.
And I just found out today, like listening to the Questlove Supreme podcast, and they had Steve Miller on, and he was saying that Journey was just actually constructed. They actually were like a sort of constructed like a boy band in a way. Like they said, we're
Really?
going to do this band. It's called Journey. This is the album art. This is the things, and that was it.
Oh, wow,
so
I
that
didn't
was
know that.
yeah, me neither. But the Black Album is such a weird like turn after Justice, but again, it sounds so good, and so many songs on there are so good. And so, like, I mean, if you listen to the Black Album episode, you'll hear like how much we kind of talked about, the surprise of going back to it, and like actually how much we enjoyed it, and also giving, a lot of credit to Bob Rock, because a lot of people thought that he like totally killed Metallica, but I don't. Metallica did it they could do that themselves. Like, but I think this was a great the Black Album does a great thing, which brings Jason back into the fold. I mean, I like having a good bass player, having that like real like amazing bass line cover, like holding the rest of the song up, and it gives it more weight. I mean, you can't have that sound without good bass line, and Jason did a great job. The Black Album's great. I mean, in terms of what it is,
And look, it's not thrash, but there's some heavy fucking songs that like Sad But True. That's where like you get punished, like where the bass really gives that extra like bong, like, just banging you over the head. So
I wrote in my notes about Sad But True. It ain't fast, but it's hard.
Yeah, that's like they always do now when they're like, "Do you want heavy? Metallica gives you heavy," and then like goes into Sad But True, which is a little cheesy, but I prefer when James was like aggressively treating the crowd like shit and calling everyone pussies and like, I mean, he's probably drinking at the time, right? So.
Well, that's a product of having boomer parents. That you prefer that style of attachment, but
fair enough.
We talk about it as a left turn from Justice to Black, but really going through the prism of having spent time with the Load and Reload albums, it didn't feel like as much of a turn. In fact, when I took some quick notes on the songs, and at least a few times I wrote, it's a little thrashy. It's a little thrashy.
Oh,
didn't say that too much. Didn't say that too much on the Load and Reload albums. I think I said on Holier Than Thou, on Through the Never, obviously, and then Struggle Within, Save the
Struggle Within. It to me is one of the most underrated Metallica songs. I fucking love that album, that song, because I think it's one I used to skip over back in the day, like when I first got into that album, and then like because it just starts off, it sounds like a military song with the and I'm like, what is this snare drum shit? Like, what is this? This marching band. But then like if you listen to that, man. I mean, that is a great fucking song, and it's a banger on that album. So
it goes out with a bang.
I mean, I love that, and Unforgiven is great. I mean, I'm like you, Billy, though. Like, I can skip Nothing Else Matters.
I heard it too many times.
Yeah, I heard it too many times. And truthfully, if I'm going to listen to a song that's going to be that slow, I'm going back to Fade to Black, because it's, way better song.
100%, man. I've heard some covers of Nothing Else Matters that I actually prefer because it's just something different, Like, if you haven't heard, Chris Stapleton does a cover of Nothing Else Matters. It's really interesting.
Really?
If you like country at all, like, I think Chris Stapleton's awesome, and it's a totally different vibe. And, the original, like, to me, like, when I go see Metallica live, I'm like, I'm going to take a piss, get a beer. Like, it's a good time to do that.
That is the beer song.
100%, man. 100%.
That's
an important role.
It totally is. I mean, because if you don't do it at a certain point, like, you're screwed. Like, I think there was a show we went to. I think, Jeremy, you went to the show, Oasis, when we went to Staten Island. Did you come to that in a minor?
Never went to Staten Island when I saw Oasis at Roseland Ballroom.
Oh, okay, I saw it. Yeah, so there was one in Staten Island. It was on a minor league baseball field, and and a bunch of other bands from England and stuff like that were there. Kasabian was there and stuff like that. It was this weird. I think it was called like Across the. It doesn't matter what it was called.
Narrows?
I don't know what it was. There's some weird.
That's what it was. I think it was Across the Narrows.
Is that what it was? Okay, so that's what it was. And they had the bar it was on the field. So like, actually, like, you didn't have to go anywhere. Like, you just walk to the back and just grab a drink. So it was a lot easier. I mean,
one of my greatest.
It's not like the Big Four where we had to go all the way back into the fucking thing from Yankee Stadium on the floor. Remember that? We had the floor seats for that.
That was fucking crazy.
They had the porta potty set up on the warning track, so we could say that we pissed on the field.
Yeah, I may have actually pissed on the field. I'm just kidding.
It's the only right thing to do at Yankee Stadium.
Come on, guys.
Sorry, Pico.
Hey, whatever. I mean,
just got to keep you under editing.
It's the Yankees, as long as we're not the Phillies. But
amen.
But so I mean, we don't have to keep going through the Black Album. We did it already. The method, the deal here is, like, we put each album to the test. Is it still good? Is it just nostalgic, or is it just bad? And then the era, and then we'll rank these all together and stuff. But Black Album passes the nostalgia test for me. So I mean,
it's very, very good.
No, I don't even think it's a question. Like, it passes. I know dude, if you talk some of this 10 years older than this, they'll be like, fuck that album. And hey, I respect their decision. I understand it. I've gone through that with bands myself. Like, Pico, we talked about this, like, In Flames, used to love In Flames. And then they had the same thing where it's like they had a turn, and I was like, fuck this band. And I was like, that is the first time resonated for me with, like, how early Metallica fans felt, where I'm like, I get it. You love this band. You're a huge fan. And then, like, you feel like they fucking punched you in the gut.
Yeah.
Just one more reason not to talk to Gen Xers.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that brings us, I think, to really what this episode is about. And let's talk about Load first. Load and
so what
Reload.
happened? What happened in between 1991 and 1996? How did we get here?
I mean, they tour for 3 fucking years straight, essentially, right? Like, they tour from like 91 to 94, essentially nonstop. I think I read something once where it was like the Black Album era resulted in like 2 stints of rehab and like 3 divorces for the guys in the band, because it was just like, absolute mayhem. Like they basically went from being this little thrash metal band, not little, but like a big underground thrash metal band to essentially, like at the time, the biggest fucking rock band in the world. Like, you know, like you can make that argument in the early 90s. Metallica was like the biggest fucking rock band in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean a quote from Lars on the Wikipedia, which is really just makes no sense to me, is that this album and what we're doing with it, that to me is what Metallica are all about, exploring different things. The minute you stop exploring, then just sit down and fucking die.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cough over that, but maybe it's for the best.
So,
I just love how ridiculous the quote is.
The punctuation is insane, but it's just like
English isn't his first language, guys. Take it easy.
I mean,
he didn't mean that.
I mean, Load received mixed reviews, as we know, but was a commercial success, debuting and spending 4 consecutive weeks at number 1. Load sold 680,000 units in his first week, making it the biggest opening week for Metallica, as well as the biggest debut of 1996. It went certified 5 times platinum in the record industry, whatever, for shipping 5 million copies. Until It Sleeps, Hero of the Day, Mama Said, and King Nothing were the singles.
Mama Said was a single?
Yeah.
That's why it's a video.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's right. And at 78 minutes and 59 seconds, basically 79 minutes, it is the longest Metallica album.
All right, I think we got to fess up here to what we agreed upon beforehand, which is basically between Load and Reload, which, why aren't they double album if they have essentially the same name? They should be one album.
That's the first premise, right? This is where they reached the era, and the only other artist, which is from a totally different than I compare it to, is like Stephen King, where like this is where Metallica got so big that they couldn't self-edit, and also like they probably weren't listening to anything Bob Rock said because they were so big. Where like, remember, like this was supposed to be one album when they went in to write it, and they wrote so much fucking shit that it wound up being 2 albums. And as we'll talk about here, probably would have been better off being 1 album because they couldn't self-edit. It's like if you read Stephen King shit,
every time they had an idea, it's like gold, print it.
Yeah, if you read Stephen King shit from the 90s, you're like, why is this fucking book 800 pages long? Because like there's no editing, and it's the same shit here.
Yeah, like his book
with Use Your Illusion.
Oh yeah, that's God.
Oh, well, that's
a whole different
beast.
Some
ego going on there.
Yeah,
might have been.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is like Rolling Stone gave this album 4 out of 5 stars. That doesn't.
Rolling Stone. I'm gonna lay the gauntlet down. That magazine is a piece of fucking shit and has never known anything about music. And if you disagree, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. First hot take of the episode, boys.
I mean, it's so. I mean, so let's just like throw it out there. The first times you heard Load, or you know, and just in the re-listen, like what it was like. I mean, Billy, Jeremy.
I think I probably heard it on MTV on like my then already 15-year-old TV with like one mono, speaker that only half worked, and maybe 3 colors, and I'm like, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is like your opinions change because the first time I remember hearing it was Until It Sleeps was the first single, right? So I remember
driving around in filth.
Yeah, my aunt and uncle had bought like a Fixer Upper house, and I was helping them redo it, and it came on like 92.3 K-Rock. Remember that shit back in the day? And I was like, oh, the new Metallica song. Like I remember that band from I know Enter Sandman, and I was like, oh, I like this song. Like, and that's where it went from. But it was like, once again, the decision to make Until It Sleeps the lead single is a very weird one, right? Like, because that is not a Metallica song. Like,
what do you think it should have been?
If I was doing it, I'd probably go like "Ain't My Bitch,"
right?
I think you're right. I think King Nothing might be the prime track, so you don't release that first touch. You lead up to that.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, like, if we're gonna go go down the track list, like right to that point, "Ain't My Bitch," I think that's a good opener, right? Like Metallica always has good openers. Like it's fast, it's heavy, it's definitely different, right? Like it's not thrashy, but it's like a fast song. Oh, it's got a bad word. I love that shit when I was in fucking 9th grade, right? You're like, yeah, this is bitch. But yeah, it's like it's a solid song. Like, I think it's one that I still listen to every now and then. Like I don't hate it. It's like, all right, this is a good song. And that would have been a good way if they weren't like, I think it goes back to like what you're saying, what Lars said, where like they just like were like, oh, we're gonna overthink it and do something way out there. So instead of doing something that maybe would appeal to our previous fans, we're just gonna push it hard the other way and do something like interesting,
it's not hard to imagine a scenario in which Lars is just like, guys, I don't want to work that hard. Let's just write slow songs, but we'll make a lot of them, so we'll sell more albums.
Yeah. He it's funny here they said like Lars adopted a minimalist approach to his drum recording, abandoning the speed and complex double bass drumming patterns of previous albums and using simpler techniques and playing styles. Yeah,
that's accurate.
It's totally accurate. Of course it is. Because again, we talked about this like in the thrash era. I think that Justice, like that whole era, and leaving Justice, he had peaked at his ability at that point.
Yes.
Like he wasn't going to be
shame in
able
that
to do
because
it.
that's like an all-time, Olympic achievement.
You're absolutely right, and you're absolutely right. But if you're going to continue to make albums, then the Black Album was a good turn, but it just like after the Black Album, it was just like, how did like they went from arena rock metal to I don't know what, like a confused. Because when I first heard
generic hard rock, and it just doesn't feel as big, as important, as impressive. It's
the production is worse too. I don't know what Bob Rock was doing, but it went from
like
exactly. You instantly like that's where I noticed when I listened to like, all right, I listen to Struggle Within and I go to Ain't My Bitch and I'm like, I like the song Ain't My Bitch, but like the production just feels different. The guitars aren't as crunchy.
Yeah.
It's I mean, Pico, you play guitar, right? Are they turning away from E at this point and going to another like
they dropped
tuning?
Drop D.
They dropped.
Is it drop D at this point? Is that where they went?
Yeah.
I know Saint Anger was drop D at that point because everyone was doing it, but I didn't know this was.
They were on
but it definitely sounds different because it doesn't have the crunchy guitar sound. I don't know if they switch amps, whatever it was, but it's like that was nothing else. Like even the first 4 albums where production is questionable, like the guitar was fucking crunchy, right? And that to me is like what thrash metal always hits you with, whether it's Metallica, whether it's Slayer, whether it's Exodus. Like it's fucking crunchy ass guitar,
and it's shrieking.
Yes.
I think we talked about this in the past episodes. Why did Metallica emerge as the biggest one? Basically, because they wrote and played the best riffs. That's it. Everything else is superfluous. But the songs that mostly James wrote. James is the reason that he wrote and he played with. Were just cut above everybody else.
Wait, it's not Dave Mustaine? I'm just kidding.
Where's my little friend? My little Danish friend Lars.
Oh God, we'll get to that in the next era, which I'm not looking forward to.
So load.
No?
Metallica's first album, this was it said a down tune to E flat, right? So this is the first time
so from straight E to E flat,
right? So because he copied a lot of what he says, like a lot of Hendrix stuff, which that's weird too. Because if you listen to Hendrix, it's crunchy, and not even that, it's fucking aggressive,
ridiculous,
yeah. And his solos are aggressive. If you ever listen to Voodoo Child. The Voodoo Child Redux on Electric Ladyland, it's like that he almost destroys the amplifier in that solo. And so like
fucking aggressive.
Exactly. So that's fine what he said and whatever. I think Kirk just goes along with whatever they're going to do.
Kirk smokes a lot of weed too. Like he has that look to him. So like I'm pretty sure he's a huge stoner, and that totally sounds like a stoner thing, right? Like, bro, I just want to sound like Hendrix.
If you had to put up with Fred and Barney all the time, bossing you around, you would too.
But that's the thing. Point. I think they were trying too much. The grunge era is over. They're trying to make an album that's like a Soundgarden album. They're trying to do like stoner rock. They're trying to do hard rock. They're trying to do country rock in some parts. It was just too many things happening, and they just lost their footing. And this album, when I first heard it, I think I only heard I was only listening to the singles and the other song. I never bought this album, so I listened to it when people had it. So when I heard the whole thing, I was like, what the fuck is going on? There's so many songs.
It's very it's disjointed. There's no this is pulling the string through. And that's where they did a good job with a lot of the previous albums where look, they're not concept albums where they're telling a story, but everything flows well into one another. And here it's bah, bah, bah. And
it almost flows too much because a lot of it sounds the same to me. There are, I made this in my notes. If we could go through the individual tracks, some of them just sounds like
go ahead, a
continuation of the same song. Ain't My Bitch, great opener, but then 2x4
sucks.
Well, one sec before we get into the song by song, we have to talk about, and Pico, when you edit this, you gotta cut it in, the fucking album cover. So the album is called Load, and the picture is like a fine art painting, because this must have been Lars got into art.
Yeah.
That is made by an artist that fucking mixed his jizz and blood and fucking painted flames. So like the album's called fucking Load. And it's fucking jizz on the cover of the album. Like, imagine that discussion. They're like, "Oh, what should we call the album? Oh, we should call it fucking Load and put jizz on the front cover." Like, what? Like,
no bad ideas, guys.
Like, that is literally like, someone needs to fucking edit you and be like, "Hey guys, this is a terrible fucking idea." No, like, this is really
they're
dumb.
too big now. If they had come out, okay. Remember the thrash? If you go back to the thrash era and see discussion, we talked about what they wanted in Kill 'Em All, I think it was,
or Metal Up Your Ass.
Metal Up Your Ass.
Yeah, and they're like, "You guys are nobodies. We're out." Yeah. But they're now the biggest band in the world, and they want to do that. They're like, God, I guess we're doing. I think that's why Jason looks the way he looks right there. He's just like,
fuck.
I'm in a band where there's semen and blood on the cover, and the name of the album is Load. There's no way.
And like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there have been punk bands that have had like jizz references in their albums, but like it's not an aggressive metal way. It's like a fucking fine art painting made with jizz and blood, and you're like, wait. I'm sorry.
For $4 million.
What is this fucking shit? Like, this is the band that was like, kicking everyone in their fucking teeth, and now they have a fine art painting with jizz and blood on the album cover. And like,
now,
what?
Is it my imagination that I mix up, or is the Reload cover a close up of a condom?
No, it's a close up of a fucking sperm. So they stuck with the fucking concept. That's weird. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. let me.
Dude, Cliff would never have put up with that. He would have been like, "We're not doing that."
Cliff would have fucking been like, can I go back on the bus? Like, Jesus.
Wow. Okay, so Load, the album artwork for Reload was created by the same artist, Andreas Serrano, this is a mix of bovine blood and his own urine. Hence, the artwork is titled "Piss and Blood 26." All the photos in the liner notes were taken from the 1997 Cunning Stunts concert.
So tell us about your materials. Well, I was eating a lot of Taco Bell at the time, so I found it very easy to produce them.
Oh my God,
Mountain Dew.
This is Metallica. That's what's so confusing. That's why this is confusing.
I blame Lars for a lot of this, because we know he was like, look, we know Lars is a very opinionated motherfucker. He has crazy shit in his head. I think you can argue that if they didn't have him, they never would have been as big as they were, which a fair argument, right? So like, he's probably the reason they're multi-millionaires,
Yeah.
But like, it's also like he also had these crazy fucking ideas, and there's no doubt in my mind he's behind a lot of like the imagery associated with this era, with like, hey, we need to cut our hair, we need to dress differently, we need to do this and that. Like, to me, a lot of that feels like Lars, and James was probably too drunk at the time to give a fuck.
Yeah, and Kirk is just stoned out of his mind, and Jason's like, well, I'm collecting paychecks.
Yeah,
I don't have a voice.
Jason's like, but I think, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, Jason. Yeah. Shut up and get back in the corner.
No one pays you to think. We pay you to play bass and then mix you out.
And then eliminate you.
I mean, look, going back to the track list, I mean, Ain't My Bitch is a great, I think it was a good
we're going to
say
in or out. Does someone have something open we can keep track of this?
Well, do you want to go through Load and Reload and then do all of it? But like, I would say like...
Oh, you're right. Maybe talk through the songs, and at the end, like, do like in or out, and we do vote. Good call.
Because honestly, I hate this album. And there's not that much that I enjoyed from the Load album.
I don't hate it as much as you.
I liked Ain't My Bitch, 2x4 Sucks, House Jack Book.
Oh man, see, I don't hate 2x4. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, I was like, this is a reject song for Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Like,
all right, that's a fair point. When you put it like that, I may have to agree with you. Yeah, I mean, you know what it is? This is another one where I feel like there's some good riffs. Like, I kind of like the main riff of 2x4 because it's like boom, but no, like, but it's used the wrong way almost.
Maybe it's James's voice on this album. And it's not that it was a bad thing. He could sing, he could do whatever, but maybe it was because he was just like, I'm gonna sing a lot.
Yeah. I don't remember where it was, if it was on Load or Reload, but I wrote a couple notes on all tracks, and I said, I don't like it when James tries to sing.
Yeah.
I want James to do James. Don't try to become fucking Pavarotti. Just
give me some beer-soaked vocals.
Just sound mad. Just sound angry.
Yeah.
And loud.
It was just I couldn't do it. And I was like, when I was listening to it, I was like, man, this song's 5.5 minutes long. I was like, come on. If 2x4 was 3 minutes long,
then you'd be I could deal with it. That's fair. That's a fair.
The house that
Jack built
has a cool chorus, but doesn't start until 3.5 minutes in. Like most of the Beatles' greatest songs would be over before you even got to the part.
The higher you walk, the farther you fall. Yeah, I like the chorus too. That's why that one is like it's I do like that chorus.
I just couldn't listen to it either. That was a difficult one for me. But yeah, it's just one of those albums. It was too long. Like, how dare they put an album out that's almost 80 minutes long? Do you know what I mean?
Obnoxious.
Like, that's too much. You could have cut the Cure Gone like that. I could have taken, like, we could have taken that out. You know what I mean?
Uncross Your Arms. I had no recollection of this, so I don't remember anything about this.
So if we go down the track list, we did the first three. Until It Sleeps. Like, once again, when I first heard it, I liked it. That song nowadays, like, I don't like that fucking song anymore.
You only keep that in the track listing because it breaks up the monotony of all the other ones that sound exactly like.
Boring.
I didn't put Until It Sleeps, I think, on the list.
It's boring. That's it. You know what? That's a live song. They still play live. That's another piss break beer song. Right?
Really?
Like, they're gonna play it. I'm gonna piss break beer song.
Okay, but you better hope they're not going in order, because what comes next?
King Nothing.
That's the prime cut. That's the prime track from the song. That's a good one. I
100%.
Park. Is that an electric bass I hear?
Yeah.
Yeah. King Nothing. Great. But Billy, wait. This is the song. This is a beer song. Hold on. This song. Hold on.
Yeah. Like up. Go get a beer.
Yeah, in the video, what the fuck is going?
They're like crawling through dirt and shit, dressed like devils. I'm like, did I need to take acid to watch this video? Like,
Lars is emo now. He looks like
he's wearing fucking guy liner, like thick guy liner. Like,
he looks like he belongs in My Chemical Romance.
Yes.
You know, which fine. Nothing wrong with them. I like the black, the Black Parade.
This is just the way they did things back then. That's the way the Chili Peppers looked around '95. It was just gross.
They were.
Maybe it's just the
liner?
'90s.
I don't know.
The '90s were a fucked up time.
The whole
right?
vibe.
So.
Yeah, but maybe I'm with you. I don't know, but I know Billy. I know this song, King Nothing, totally great. This is where I think you and Jeremy had an argument, and I even think I have a question mark to this song right here. Hero of the Day.
I also have this stupid video imprinted in my head where they're in like a fake game show. Like, it's the whole thing annoys me.
Well, I don't love his singing on it, but I think what it came down to is I must be a sucker for just ascending chord progression, so I like it. It's not the best, but I like it.
That's a hard one, man. That's a hard one.
The only time I've liked the use of this, and Jeremy, look at this, Pico, you may not as much, but like in Jeremy and Brodor's number retirement ceremony, they did a 4-minute video to Hero of the Day with Kiefer Sutherland narrating Brodor's entire career. And I was
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, swear to God, yeah.
You have a physical recording of that you watch in the middle of the night sometimes, don't you?
Of course, yeah. Yes. But like that, I'm like, all right, like this song's all right here. Every other time, I dislike it. I just, it feels like filler to me.
It's one of those songs. Honest. I actually, when I was taking guitar lessons, it was one of those songs that I tried to learn.
Mm-hmm. Is it hard to play?
It's not as hard to play because it's like pretty straightforward. It's not like difficult, but it's an okay song. It's just like one of those songs I forgot was out there because I don't listen to this album. So I'm like, oh shit, Hero of the Day. And then once I heard it 2-3 times, I was like, all right, like, plus it's also, it's one of the shorter songs. It's only 4 minutes and 21 seconds, really? Which is ridiculous. Yeah.
But don't worry, because the next track is how long, Dan?
8 minutes and 18 seconds.
So this is,
not even the longest one on the album.
I don't hate this song.
It's
don't
good.
know
It's
how
good.
much
The
I
problem,
like it.
Too long.
the problem
Too
for
long.
me is that it's the same tempo and chord progression basically as Outlaw Torn, which is a minute longer. The closer, which
Mhm.
I think you have to keep. So again, just like with the first two songs, you don't need them both. You're not
It's a
telling me
slow
anything
build
else.
song too. I sometimes I'm a sucker for a slow build song, and this one is,
Yeah.
but it's just too long. But then when it finally kicks in, that down, 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 like
Yeah.
at the end. And this is one, like, if we do this later, we can talk about it more. But this is another one that I thought when they did the S&M thing lends itself very well to the symphony part. Like, because there's so many, like, because there is it's such a slow song, as Jeremy pointed out, that there's room to fill shit in there. But I still like this song. I
They
just
could
like
have cut the last 3 minutes. I got the
Yeah.
idea, and then it just beat it to
or
death.
cut a minute and a half at the front. Like, make it a 5-minute song, still do the slow build, and I think it's a much better song.
The problem is they were trying to like do those Cliff Burton long songs or Orion's and things like that, and they just couldn't pull it off. Like, because they didn't have. He was a musical genius. They couldn't.
100%.
They didn't have it. So, and but I will say this about a lot of these, even some of the songs I didn't like. The guitar solos were pretty good. I mean, they actually were good. Like, they weren't like
still
a
ripping
mess.
here. I felt like, and we talked about it last time with the Black Album episode, where like I felt like, because if you watch, I think we did when we did the Black Album, we watched the Year and a Half of Life Metallica thing, where like I felt like look, I love all of his solos on all the early albums, but like he was just fucking riffing and like, all right, let's see how this goes. Whereas I feel Bob Rock made him think about like, hey, it doesn't need to be the most ripping solo. It needs to be one that fits with the song. And I agree with you. The solos on both these albums are still really solid.
They're the saving grace of most of the listening on these albums. Because a lot of times I'm just fast forwarding. Sometimes we get to the solo. I'm like, where's the guitar solo?
Yeah, let me hear that.
You know, unlike we can't do that in, Saint Anger.
Oh, God, I'm not looking forward to that.
Anyone want to be on that episode?
Five-parter.
Hit us up. But yeah, Bleeding Me was, I think that was one of the tracks that Brian Colburn from the My Weekly Mixtape podcast, check them out. Actually, we did a great episode of the Nostalgia songs playlist with him. Manny and I did a really good episode with him. He said he loves King Nothing, Bleeding Me, and the Outlaw Torn. Those were his top 3 from Load. And
those are good choices.
Good choices. Not bad. I mean, Bleeding Me it's such a questionable song, but it's not bad. You know what I mean? But the next song,
questionable bad.
Fuck
Cure.
that song.
Cut it.
What's the next song?
Cure.
Oh God.
Across Your Arms. I wrote, we get it. James is drunk.
Waiting on the cure. Like, it's like, dude, please. No.
The cure. Like, it was just so bad. I don't remember any of these songs. Not at all.
This is one where, like, I know I said I don't really like Hero of the Day or Until It Sleeps, but like, the first half of this album until you get to this point, I could see an argument for any of those songs either way. Once you get to this, if you're like, yo, I like Cure, I'm like, you're fucking stupid. This song's garbage. Like, this is filler.
Yeah.
This is one they should have deleted when they were like, hey, we have all this stuff.
Poor Twisted Me.
Maybe save a riff somewhere else.
Poor Twisted Me sounded, at this point, I get into a lot of things sound derivative of something else. So Poor Twisted Me to me, it sounded like they were trying to do a slow version of ZZ Top.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so confusing.
I don't like it either.
James
who
still
is
drunk.
James is also listening a lot, I think, this time to like Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, where you're kind of feeling some of that with some of the sound and also the imagery a little too, right? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagery, there was a big change in the whole perspective from, the earlier albums and the Black Album to this. It becomes much more personal, and it's not necessarily a better look for them. The abstract, some sort of ancient sea monster is going to eat you. Works a little better maybe with the music. Then I'm sad.
It was just
Cure is garbage. What's the next one?
Yeah.
Or Twisted Me.
Sorry, we said that. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
And then all right, a little change of pace here. Wasting My Hate. Under 4 minutes.
I like this song.
Some hardcore punk vibes, some Green Day. And then it takes a while to get into the actual riff, but I dug it.
Hold on. That was the wait, Wasting My Hate, that one?
Yeah, Wasting My Hate, yeah.
Because I was like, wait a second.
It actually has a little country rock vibe.
Yeah.
That's
it's a little dirty. It's a little dirty sound.
See, but like
Wasting My Hate.
10 seconds, 12. We're still not even really in the song.
Yeah,
this is like be like a punk riff.
I like when it kicks it, like, but until that, yeah, too long.
I mean, yeah.
I like the riff when it gets to there.
Okay, so what if the song started here? Hold on. Where did it kick in? Here? So like if the song
just went like and then went in, yeah.
If it started like that's 27 seconds though. But
that's just the first impression, and it builds further from there. So it takes them forever to get around to it. Like guys,
I think they were trying to.
We don't need your whole process.
Overthink it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us the final finished product.
Exactly.
Cut the fat.
If it went Ain't My Bitch and then.
Yes.
That's all it needed to be. It's just like you got to cut 26 seconds out of that song in the beginning.
This is the overwhelming theme of these two albums to me, and not just in the albums together, but the songs, the inability to cut. Like songs that are 7 minutes should be 5. Songs that are 5 should be 3. Like cut the bridge, cut this intro, like just make it fucking short, compact, and punch you in the mouth, which is what they fucking did on the Black album. So it's
exactly. I don't get it. I mean, I don't know. That song is questionable for me. I could see an argument for that song, but like Mama Said, I was out. I was out.
Mama Said, I've gotten more into country the last couple of years. Mama Said's a good country song. Don't belong on a Metallica album. No. If you're like, hey, this is like some fucking country band, and I'd be like, all right, that's a decent song. It's like a heavy country song. Cool. It's not
I liked it better than I thought I was going to. I hadn't listened to it in a while, but it does make the case that maybe they should have done some side projects.
Fact, Jeremy, once again, I'm not saying it's a bad song.
I'm
saying, is it a Metallica song?
And
if
Lars
this is like, hey, James did a country, whatever the fuck he says it is, yeah. But
exactly.
Yeah, I would listen to if James is like, hey man, I'm gonna put out a country rock album. I'm like, I'll fucking check that out. Let's fucking go, because it's a different vibe. But like,
probably
not what I expect to hear in a Metallica song. I'm sure he fucking did.
Yeah,
that guy's totally like a cowboy at heart, hillbilly at heart.
Oh, he definitely wants to, and I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll put an album out by himself soon.
Oh yeah, and I would listen to that. Yeah, because he's like, it's interesting because he's like a liberal hillbilly, which I think the lyrical content would be very interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah, it would be great. But yeah, Mama Said, Thorn Within.
Oh God, that's my least favorite song on this album.
This one reminded me of Stunt of a Pilot Sex Type Thing, which came out 4 years earlier and is far superior.
Yeah, exactly. Ronnie. Look, if you're gonna name a song Ron, now I don't know why it's named Ronnie. I don't want to like disparage it. Just
in honor of their original bassist Ron McGovern, of course.
That's not true.
I don't think it's true, but it wasn't
fake news, Jeremy. Stop spreading fake news on the podcast. We didn't have other sources for that.
I thought that was the name of the podcast.
Fuck that song too, Ronnie. I'm done. But the Outlaw Thorn.
I can't remember what I wrote. I think I like the riff on Ronnie. There's a good riff somewhere in Ronnie, but that's
somewhere. Okay, somewhere in 5 minutes and 17 seconds.
Yeah, I like the original. I like this riff.
But again, like it's a country song. Or like a country rock vibe. Song. It's got like more of a twang. And I think like that's fine. But I don't know. Like this album's confusing.
Metallica.
Yeah, it is. So 100% is, dude. Yeah, because if you took all the songs that have that vibe and like, hey, James is doing a soul album that's like a country rock. I mean, fuck, Zakk Wylde put out like a country rock album with I forget the name of it, but it was right around when he put Black Label out, and like it's basically his ode to Skynyrd, essentially, right? Where it's like, hey, I love this style of music. I'm gonna play an album like this. If James did that, like to your point, Jeremy, like they never would have let him.
Yeah,
like, Lars would never let him. But like that's something I'd be like, hey, a Hetfield solo, like Southern country rock vibe.
Really let's fucking go. I would like for them to collaborate on that.
Oh,
Zach and
that would be awesome. That would be fucking crazy.
Guys, if Zach and James, if you're watching this podcast, you want to see it.
If you're watching this podcast,
audio medium.
and listening, watching and listening.
Either way.
Either way, hit us up. We know we made fun of a lot of things. We said some disparaging stuff about Lars.
We love you guys, though.
Hey,
we're Mets fans. We love Piazza. He's in the BLS. We're good.
we love you guys. Like that's the thing. Like I think I've been fighting with a lot of people on Twitter, on Instagram about Lars. There's a lot of Lars fans. They can just relax, but they're wrong. And I think the problem with Metallica is him. And he's also the driving force of what made them so big. So I think there's like
weird dichotomy.
It's a weird dichotomy with him. But yeah, 3 minutes and 39 seconds into Ronnie. Maybe this.
Well, now we all know why.
Okay, we don't need
See the problem with the vocals too. Like
he's also singing with an accent. Like clearly he's singing with a southern accent.
Don't know why. Ain't that mad about?
Was that Travis Tritt or James Hetfield? Like I don't know what's going on.
Yes, it's Travis. Just randomly
anyway, and then it brings us to the Outlaw Thorn, which I actually love that song.
It's a fucking great song. Yeah,
that's excellent.
It's up there with King Nothing for best on the album.
Yeah.
It is long as hell, but it's good.
But
this is one that's okay being long, in my opinion.
It does something. Like it literally does something. It
takes you on a journey.
Exactly. It doesn't just go, and then like here's a solo. Like it's literally just like an actual song that was put together. But all right, so look, here we are. We're at the end of Load. Does Load pass the nostalgia test? Is it still good? Is it like meaning? Would you recommend people to listen to Load, or is it just nostalgic in ways in which like there are some songs that give you that good nostalgic feeling for like the pads, like when it came out, some good memories, or is it just an album that just is not good at all and fuck it?
I don't think I would mention this to someone if I was trying to get them into Metallica until they listened to absolutely everything else and wanted to know if there was more.
Okay. So
maybe not absolutely everything else, everything that came before.
Yeah.
So what does that answer mean, Jeremy? You didn't answer the fucking question.
That's a no. That's a no. I don't.
Jeremy does not believe in the
but there's
actual
three
rubric.
options, Jeremy. It's not yes or no.
I think what Jeremy's saying is it's nostalgic. It fails, but it's nostalgic because there are good songs on it, right? Like
definitely nostalgic, especially for it hit us in the peak metal absorption years.
Yeah,
it was the gateway. If only of getting us to the rest of Metallica, that it was worth it for that.
Yeah, it was like Load,
piece of art. Yeah,
Justice for All.
Oh my god. Oh my god! If the AI on Descript doesn't pick that up as a clip, I'm making it.
You're gonna have to. Yeah.
But I think like it's not like that. It's not like when we did the way in the beginning of this podcast 4 or 5 years ago. Jesus. I think it was like episode 2. We did the Blink-182 episode. We did Enema of the State and Take Your Pants Off and Jacket. Manny and I were like,
jacket.
Take Your Pants Off and Jacket was one of the worst things we listened to, and there was no saving grace on that album.
I can see that.
And we were just like, couldn't believe that how much we loved it when we first heard it, and there was nothing on there that we would save. That was like
we were
fuck
young
that
and
whole
stupid
album
at the time, right? So it's
my wife just messaged me that there's a fox screaming outside in her yard, and she thinks it's probably just trying to be metal.
Yes.
Have you seen some of the bands that have animals as singers, like the dog? Like there's like actual bands that have like vocalists that are like dogs and cats and shit.
You ever listen to the band Allstar? Anyone? It's pirate metal.
Because of you.
Oh my god.
It's dude. It's basically like. You can cut this part out, but I just had to go off on this tangent here.
No, this is it. This is the podcast. Use it.
This is the podcast. You said.
But no, it's a Scottish pirate metal band where like it sounds like a metal sea shanty. But then like they have one album where there's an alternate version of it on Spotify where instead of lyrics, it just has an automated dog barking the whole time.
He plays this in the car with his kids.
That is ridiculous. Oh my god.
Yeah, it looks like it'd be a fun show to go to and like just have a good time.
Oh my god, I love it.
But anyway, like I would be straightforward and not beat around the bush like whatever Jeremy's explanation was.
It's called explanation.
And I will say, I'm saying this is just nostalgic. Like it's not a shit album. It's not like wow, this is the worst fucking thing ever produced. But you listen to it, you're like, this is not a good album. Like this is nostalgic. There's songs that mean things at the time, but pure nostalgia.
Boy, I'm already looking forward to the next episodes and what we're gonna say. If we're at this point with Load.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say like it's just nostalgic as well. There's some good songs on it, but it's not.
We're in agreement on that.
By the way,
we
would be remiss to talk about one of the definitions of this era was the adaptation of the Ninja Star as their main symbol with the 4 M's.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
The idiot that at 18 decided to get that tattooed on my arm.
Oh man, it's not quite so red anymore, is it?
No, it looks terrible. I'm at the point where I was like, do I get it touched up, or it's like it's a symbolism of like what an idiot I was at 18. So just leave it as it is. So I'm kind of leaning towards the second one.
Might as well.
Just wait till we get to the Godsmack episode and you can show us your back.
Oh God, we're never talking about that band ever.
That is the only tattoo I regret.
I saw them.
Never pick anything off of the wall. Get something original.
I saw them open up for Black Sabbath on Black Sabbath's apparent last concert in 1999. Then I bought
July 4th this year.
Yeah. Oh my God. Fuck them. But so pissed. But
money grab.
Yeah, just to put it out there. So Load came out in 1996. At the same time, Slayer put out Undisputed Attitude in 1996.
Not a great album, but better than this.
But better than this. Let's see, 1996. Oh well, let's see.
Enema came out in 96.
There you go.
Megadeth
didn't put anything out in 96, but in 94 they put Euthanasia out.
What was Anthrax doing at the time?
Oh, I have that too.
This is the John Bush era, right? So
well, yeah, I think it is. See, like Anthrax didn't put anything out in 96, but in 95 they put out Stomp 442.
Yeah, that's not a great album either, but it's still better than this. It's still thrash, right?
Still better than this. And Pantera put out in 96 The Great Southern Trend to Kill. So
once again, their strongest album, but still better than this.
Still better than this.
And also, wasn't this around the time that it was either 96 or 97 that like I would choose this album over either of these? Soundgarden put out their last, like before they got back to their Down on the Upside, I think it was 96 or 97.
I like that album a lot.
Yeah, I'd rather listen to that than either of these albums.
Blow Up the Outside World is an all-time track.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also Jeremy.
Unlike James, Chris can actually sing.
Exactly.
Chris could
rest
sing.
In peace.
Chris is like the Freddie Mercury of the grunge metal.
Oh my God! When he died, I cried on that day. Like when I heard, I put on a song. I forgot what I put on, and one of his songs, and I just sat in my living room and cried. I was like, why is this hitting me so hard? But it was just so sad. It was so sad.
His lyrics are very dark and depressing to begin with. Like if he wrote those lyrics for a metal band, they would have fit 1,000%. And then you're like, oh shit. Now, like this guy was like, had some shit going on, you know?
Yeah.
But the good thing about that band too, like once again, just tying it back to the metal thing, Soundgarden are all huge, like metalheads. Like they love metal. They were always the biggest. Them and Alice in Chains to me were like, of the big 4 or 5 grunge bands from Seattle, like those guys were leaning closer to the metal borderline.
They're a lot of the stuff was as metal as Load or more.
Early Soundgarden is pretty fucking metal. Like that is more metal than either of these fucking albums.
Oh yeah. Oh, good album. My God.
Oh fuck yeah, goddamn dude.
All right, so that brings us to Reload. That 1990. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm
97.
97.
November 8th. Computer came out by Radiohead. Completely different side of the universe.
But still, a killer album. It's like ridiculous. So 1997, Reload. Debuted at number 1 on the Billboard charts, selling 436,000 copies in the first week, certified 3 times platinum. And what
was the lead single? Was it Memory Remains?
The Memory Remains was the lead single.
Why did they go with the I don't know, the weak weird songs for the lead single?
I don't know. Why not use Fuel as your lead single?
Because once again, I think they were overthinking it. Same reason why they didn't use Ain't My Bitch, right? It's like they actually kind of kept up with the theme of having like a banger for their first song every album, right? Like, but they didn't do it single wise. And I personally, you guys can disagree with this, but if you're comparing better lead single Until It Sleeps or Memory Remains, I would say Memory Remains is a better lead single than Until It Sleeps.
I've said in my notes, better than Until It Sleeps?
I think it's better.
It's
I think
at
it's
least like
better.
a heavy riff. Like you're like, okay, this is still like, I'm not gonna say it's metal, but it's like it's heavy. You know?
It's got
I
that
also
Black Album like heaviness when it drops. When it's
Yes.
like you know what I
Other
Remember
than
the
mean?
weird video where they were on like a platform
that
that was
spinning
spinning around a
platform.
thing?
God.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
This
that's
Oh,
hey, let's
okay.
watch MTV. And I was like, oh, let me turn this song up. I like this song.
I like James's singing on the chorus, but not the verses. And there's this high. Is that him overdubbing those like high background vocals? They sound
No,
insane.
that's fucking Marianne
No,
Faithful.
no. I know Marianne
I was
Faithful.
like,
She's
Jeremy,
singing.
what?
She's singing. No. But I also said, are Metallica fans supposed to know or care about Marianne Faithful? Who,
I didn't know who
R.I.P.
the
By
fuck
the
it
way, we
was.
killed her because she died like
Yeah.
last week once we were preparing for this. But no. If you listen
oh my
in the
God.
verses, there's this high, I don't even know if it's James. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
But it's a weird song. But
It's
it's okay.
just a little bit more even about it. They recorded it at the Plant, which is a wood paneled studio in Sausalito, California. The session was produced by Bob Rock, and the original idea was to release Load and Reload as a double album. However, with problems recording so many songs at one time, the band decided that half of the songs were to be released, and then the band would continue to work on the remaining songs and release them the following year. I could not
It
imagine.
wasn't worth the time.
I
But
believe
think
the Plan
about
is
it.
also
Wait
where
a
they
second.
recorded Rumors. If I
It might, yeah, I think so. But wait a second. I just want to put this question out to you. These albums came out back to back as just regular single albums, right? If this came out as a double album, and when we were buying albums, and that means it would have been more money as well, and you had to sit through a double album of this, would you have been more angry or less angry than buying Load and then Reload coming out like in the next year?
I'd be more angry. I would be much more angry because if you listen to this all as like one album, you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what the fuck? Because I'm trying to think of double albums that came out around the same time. You had like Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by Smashing Pumpkins, where like,
yeah,
a solid album. Like, there's some filler in there too, but solid album.
Yeah.
This, like, no, I would have been like, what in the fuck? I think even then I would have been like, what in the fuck? And nowadays, if they were like, hey, look at this double album, I'd be like, are they fucking stupid? Like, no.
We can be like, what's an album? I've got my phone.
How can you imagine? Like, could you imagine that being a double album? I would have been so angry. I would have been why did I have to buy this whole thing
for like $32?
Oh my God. So in the 90s, Pantera members discussed Metallica's sound and evolution as being like bullshit. They fucking hated it. And the Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan even told Pantera to shut the fuck up about Metallica. Billy Corgan, I'm sorry, you were wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Phil was right. I've seen him go on some of those rants at shows at the time period where he hated Metallica so much. But right, because it's the same thing. He was one of the early guys. Like, and then was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
But it's just I read something once that said, like, if you put out a double album, like, it means you can't edit yourself. Like, there's no reason, unless it's a concept album, different thing. All right. So now, while we're on this topic,
song, Another Brick in the Wall.
All right. What are other double albums? The Wall. I've told you guys my opinion on that. I think that album is overbloated and overrated. Like,
Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness.
Yeah,
good
exactly.
Pink Floyd album should have 5 tracks, and 2 of them should be 49 minutes long.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But I'm just trying to think off the top of my head other double albums. Like, I think Melancholy and Infinite Sadness from Pumpkins is a good album.
All Eyes on Me, Tupac Shakur. That's a
good
double album.
What else is a double album? Did Zeppelin do a double album at one point? I don't think
Pretty
so.
sure it's double album, yeah.
Did they? Maybe one at one point. I don't know.
Billy Joel's Greatest Hits, Volume 1 and 2?
No, not Greatest Hits albums, Jeremy. Come on. Jeremy, someone Google, because if I Google anything, my computer's going to stop working.
So I'm getting double albums from 91 to 2000.
There we go. Or just biggest double albums ever.
Yeah, so we had that's a live album, so that doesn't count. Like Slayer's Decade of Aggression, that doesn't really count. A lot of them are just live albums. That's the problem. Like a lot of double albums are just live albums because like you can't have. It's just too much material. Do you know what I mean?
If you're
like
doing a 3-hour concert, you need a double album.
Well,
Yeah.
Michael
Okay, so
Jackson's
maybe
History was a double album, but half of it was greatest hits.
no. Well, this is driving the point home that like double albums are a bad idea. The fact that like we're like, wait, I can't even find any. Like, it's a bad idea. Don't fucking do it. You know, go track by track.
Talk about Fuel.
Fuel.
Let's talk about
I
Fuel.
think it's a good song.
Great song.
I said
mean-
this is a good song.
Jeremy,
even if it's not.
you said you were like up in the air on whether this still belongs. I'm like,
I said this is a good song, even if it's not a good Metallica song.
it is a good song, man. Like, this is another one, like, you hear this bumping at like a sports arena and like it gets you fired up in the crowd. Like, it's, you know, is it a good Metallica song? No. Is it like a solid song? Sure.
As far as car songs go, or the sound like cars, I think Van Halen's "Hot for Teacher," while ridiculous, is actually a better song. But
I would disagree with that statement.
no, listen to it sometime. It fucking kills. It's just.
I'm not saying it doesn't kill, but I disagree with your statement.
It's just.
Disagree.
It's just ridiculous because it's got David Lee Roth in it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, Fuel. I like it. I that's one of the songs on the album that I'm just like, yeah, that's a good song. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm with you, man.
And I do believe it should have been the lead single. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were
100%.
thinking. What the fuck were they
They
thinking?
weren't fucking thinking at all is what it comes down to.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. But yeah, absolutely love that song. There's nothing to say about
Yep.
it because it's a good song. I mean, love
agree.
it.
It holds up. It holds up.
This is
It's
where
good.
they
Yeah.
started leaning into also the one thing on this song is where James is like a huge like car fan. I feel like this is one of the first times they started leaning into that, right? Like, and then you'd have like weird car imagery on shirts and stuff. And I'm like, all right, James, I get
And
you.
then they
like,
do
a car
Garage
freak.
Inc.
Yeah.
And then they're all in mechanics uniforms. What the fuck, man? This is
James is just
Metallica.
drunk. I was like, James is like, let's go, boys. We're all gonna get in
James
the
was drinking
garage.
motor oil.
Oh my
You know why?
God.
Because garage beers are the best kind of beers. So James is like, let's go to the garage.
That's where I keep my beer.
Swear there was a period of my life where all I was doing was drinking in garages.
Right? Like,
Oh, you mean like when we all hung out all the time? Yeah, I remember.
yes, exactly. It's a great
Shout out
time.
to Carl.
Shout out to Carl. Oh my God. Yeah, but there's a good song. Whatever. I mean, look,
agree.
I don't even remember even listening to Reload that much. I think after Load, I was so pissed that I was just
His
like,
vocals are good on this one.
the vocals?
His vocals are good on this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't hate 'em.
Actually, I think Reload is better than Load. Like, as like, you know, when we get to ranking them, I'd rather listen to, I don't know now. Now
I
I'm
don't know
going to
about
take
that.
that back. I don't know. Because there's
This
some
is-
points
yeah.
where it's like, no, but the memory remains great. I like that
I
song.
think it's a good song. I like it. I think it's got a good riff. I think it's, you know, once again, I think your comment about Marianne Faithfull is accurate. Like, why do we need to have her on here? But like,
That's the
it's,
time.
you
with
know,
Rolling
it's
Stones.
fine. It's a heavy. It's got a heavy riff. Good with that. You know.
Yeah.
What's
Shall
next?
we move on to the rest of the album?
Devil's
Devil's
Dance.
Dance. This, I think, was trying to fill the kind of Harvester Sorrow, Sad but True void. Not quite as successfully as those. It's okay. I don't hate it, but
I'm
it
on the
doesn't do a whole lot
fence.
for
I'm
me.
like,
It's just
you know,
I
it's a
don't
very
even
basic riff.
I don't even remember how it sounds. See, that's the problem with Load and Reload. Like I just listened to both these albums again today.
You
I
still can't
couldn't-
put it in your head yet.
Remember.
I couldn't even tell. Let's see. Hold on. I couldn't even tell
Is
you
that
what
like
this.
bow, bow? Yeah.
Oh my God! It sounds like Primus. And the thing is,
I remember like for a brief period in time when I was in high school. Do you guys remember like I was trying to play bass and learn how to play bass? And this
Vaguely.
is one of the first songs I learned because all it is on the top string. That's all this song is. Like bow, bow. Like it's literally like it's very basic, you know? Which is not
Yeah.
what I want to hear from Metallica.
Why did Jason quit the band?
he quit the fucking band.
Let's remind you that, guys, for people who don't know, Jason wrote the main riff to fucking Blackened on fucking Injustice for All. And then is running a fucking one-line bass riff. Like, you can't be too satisfied with that shit.
No, I mean he looks pissed off in the picture behind you.
He clearly is.
He's wearing the Stone Temple Pilots hat.
He clearly is. No, if that's Jason's hat, that is not. That is Kirk's hat, 100%. That
Yes,
is not
it definitely
Jason's
is.
hat.
Kirk looks like he's trying to be an extra in Scarface.
Yeah, and Lars is the only one looking at the camera, like he's just like, yeah,
course
this
he
is
is.
Metallica.
Are you
Everyone
talking
else
about
is
the
like,
picture behind? I thought you were talking about
Behind
him
me.
wearing the STP hat.
No,
My
the
bad.
one behind me. And then
Yes.
James is just like, fuck all of you. I'm drunk. It's only a cigar.
Yeah, you can't see his hand because he's holding a boot full of warm beer.
Yeah, exactly.
oh my god, oh my god. So
Jeremy,
yeah, I
do you
don't
like
know.
Devil's Dance or no? Like, I know you said what they're
It's
trying
okay.
to be, but
It's all right. I don't hate it, but it's nothing special.
It's a very mass song.
Yeah.
And then what's after that?
Okay, this is where
this is a polarizing song.
The Unforgiven.
I don't know why this needs to exist.
Too.
I don't know. How is this How is this the sequel to The Unforgiven? He dies at the end, alienated from society. It's like, oh, but now I'm in this like weird, awkward relationship with a woman. Like, no, that's no. How do you get there from there?
It could be a retrospective.
Oh, okay. But did not.
I like this song. I'm not gonna lie. I like this song.
You like this song?
You're wrong.
I did. I mean, I get why people don't like it. I like all three of the Unforgivens, and we'll get to that in the next era. But I like.
Okay.
Again, this is another one where he's trying to sing.
Dude, that's the trilogy you're gonna fucking stand behind. But Star Wars, you're just like fuck Star Wars.
I will take the Unforgiven trilogy over the Star Wars trilogy any day of the week, and I'll take that to my grave.
Shorter.
Yeah.
Look, this is another one though with the country western vibe, where like if James had put this on a solo album, you're like, all right, decent song.
Hey, listen, guys, if you can understand the me, then I can understand the you.
Oh,
yeah.
Christ,
I mean, that's
dude.
poetry.
It's very fucking twangy again.
I just don't. I think what's weird for me is like having a second version to a song on an album, and I know
they named
Pink
it
Floyd
something
did
else
it,
to be
but
better.
it's all on the but Pink Floyd did it all on the same album.
Same album, yeah.
Radiohead. Wait, when they do that?
They did 2 different versions of Morning Bell on Kid A and Amnesiac.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
right.
different.
But that was like a remix.
That's very similar to Load and Reload, where they were basically, delayed double album almost.
No, but I'm saying, like, is it the same song with like slightly different things, or is it completely different?
It's very different.
It's the same song.
I don't listen to Radiohead.
Different arrangement of the same song.
So it's not like "Don't Cry" and "Use Your Illusion" 1 and 2, where the lyrics are just different.
It's just different lyrics. That's complete nonsense filler. Like, oh, what if we said this instead?
That is nonsense filler. I agree with you.
It doesn't even go because you can hear them like awkwardly mixing in the chorus because it doesn't transition anymore.
I'm torn with Unforgiven too, because like it's so weird to me when I saw it. I'm like, they did a sequel to this song, to the song that was already fine and perfect, and it was okay. It was fine. But
my wife holds up Unforgiven 1 as the example of what she most hates because it's someone singing sounding like they're constipated. Which I'm like, you got a point.
Oh my god! I love it.
God, Unforgiven.
I mean, for this one, I like it. I think if it had a different song name, it'd be less polarizing. But it also does have that very much twangy vibe. So it's also one like James should have left it for his country western album.
Yeah,
maybe he just saw the Clint Eastwood movie and he's like, "This rocks. I got to make more of these."
I mean, that's a reasonable expectation after watching that fucking awesome movie.
It's a pretty good movie. So,
I just think that if it's on Reload, it's a great song. I think it's hard. Unforgiven 2.
Where we at? Yeah,
Unforgiven 2.
If there wasn't just a whole other like 5 other albums that were amazing. And then then there's this song, so it's like a little difficult to kind of like for me to be like, yeah, but like if it's just on Reload, then it's just like, yeah, it's thank God it's there.
Like, all right, what if instead of being called The Unforgiven 2 is called like Pain of Life? Like, you have a different take on it because it's not
weird. It sounds kind of like The Unforgiven. That's weird.
I mean,
it's like like it's just all right. This is a different vibe.
Maybe if they renamed it and it was a little different, but it also sounds pretty close to that song. But I think I think
fucking
it's
horn
fine.
at the beginning. I just think it's lazy to have a sequel song, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's a little weird. It's a little weird.
But he likes all 3 of them.
Yeah. All right. I don't know.
Disagree. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Look, now it's like Better Than You, Slither, Carpe D Baby, DM
Carpe
Baby.
Diem, baby.
I hate that song.
There's some decent stuff.
I like Better Than You.
Better Than You.
It's failer to me.
I think it's to me, this for 2 albums that have a very slow mid pace, it's a faster song, and I'm like, all right, like and it's like, once again, I'm looking for good things on here, by the way. So, the song is just basically like talking shit, like telling you I'm better than you. Like, I'm like, this is one to me be like a good.
It's kind of tame though. It's just I'm better than you. It's like
hey, I'm better than you.
It'd be a good. I think this is another one. Be a good. It hasn't adopted it yet, but I'm gonna advocate this is a sports arena song to talk shit to the other team.
That it would work for that, but yeah, short bursts, fine, but
I think for me, it's just that it's a faster song. I like it. Like I don't love it, but like I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. What's next? Like Carpe Diem, baby.
Slither.
Oh, Slither. That song.
Velvet Revolver totally stole their track title.
No,
bad song.
Yeah, very bad song.
Yeah,
Slither from Velvet Revolver is 1,000 times better than this fucking song.
Oh yeah.
Actually, that Bad Seed song 2 tracks later, I think does kind of sound like Velvet Revolver.
Oh God, Jesus
I don't
Christ!
even want to talk.
What comes in between those?
Carpe Diem, baby. This song
This
sucks.
one.
What?
Bobo, this
You're wrong.
Nah.
No, I said on the fence on this, didn't I?
No, you said love the middle part leading into the solo.
I hate.
Maybe I've been on the fence. I do like that little part. And this is also where we start hearing the James refrain where it's like, dun-dun-dun-dun. He's like, suck it.
Yeah. And then
I like that part where it's like, bound, down, 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 down. And then the solo kicks in. I do like that
sure.
part.
But I think I can't get over, like, he's like, Carpe Diem, baby. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't know. It's just.
This is what I said about don't want to hear him trying to sing. Just yell.
Just yell and don't say baby.
Yeah.
Like, don't say baby.
Yeah, I'm okay with the suck it.
Yeah, not the baby. I don't know what that. Bad Seed, horrible song.
Oh, this song is
generic hard rock. Is what I wrote.
Choking on the bad seed. It's so.
This is what sounded more like a Velvet Revolver song.
But it's also like it's supposed to like be a stoner rock song, and it's not.
No.
Down did it way better. I mean, there's coughing in the beginning, isn't there?
Down did it in the same era, fucking way better.
Yeah, let's see.
Down's first 3 albums are like the best stoner rock albums. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's not as good as that or like Sweet Leaf by Sabbath.
No, it's shitty. It's shitty.
It's shitty.
It's
the back half of Load. There's a lot of garbage. This is the ones like I'd say 90% of the back half of Load. This is where they should have been like self-edit. Get this.
This is Reload.
I mean Reload. My bad. Yeah.
I was gonna say because the next one is Where the Wild Things Are. Like
garbage.
the book.
Yeah, I think Bill and I were both in agreement they could skip over that one.
This one is bad. This is really bad. Like this is like, why is this on the album at all? Not even like this isn't one like, oh, it'd be cool if James put out a country rock album. Like, no, get rid of this. Is this the one, Jeremy? Like you have your thing up, right? Is this one where I said it sounds? Oh no, that's another one coming up. I'll hit that later.
They should have deleted this one, as Lars' dad would say.
Yeah. Because you ever see that video where Lars plays something and he's like, we were thinking about making the album opener. What do you think? And his dad's like, I would say delete that. And he's got like a huge Viking beard. And I'm like, this is great.
I mean,
Lars, oh God.
I mean, these songs, even the titles are terrible.
Yeah,
Slither, Carpe Diem, Baby, Bad Seed, Where the Wild Things Are, and the next one, Prince Charming.
I like that one.
Why? Why?
I actually turned up the volume when I was listening to it.
Oh no, this one just feels like total trash.
It sounded like they were actually having fun, which if when you listen to the Garage Inc. album,
drugs make things fun.
Well, sounded like they're having a good time, and that comes through in the song. Where some of these, it's like I don't even think they like what they're playing.
This one for me is like this is one I didn't remember, and then I listened to it again, and I was like, it's just completely unmemorable. Like I can't even tell you what the riff sounds like. Like if you put a bullet to my head, I'd get my head blown off because I don't know what the fucking riff sounds like at all. And I can sing like thrash era solos in their entirety, and like I don't even know what the main riff for this fucking song sounds like.
I can only tell you what the main riff sounds like for Fuel, The Memory Remains, and the Unforgiven 2. After that, I have no idea what any of these songs sound like, and I just listened to this album again, and I still cannot
3 hours
tell you.
ago. Yeah, I agree with you.
I can't
They're
tell
not
you.
memorable. They're not.
I can literally hum the entire guitar solo to Dogs on Animals by Pink Floyd. The whole thing.
The other part with you now.
What?
I'll harmonize the other part with you.
Exactly. The whole thing. But if you told me, all right, we gun to your head, What's the main riff to Prince Charming by Metallica? I'm like, well,
We're all dead. Actually, Jeremy probably lived because
I was just listening to it. No, I didn't remember it, but I liked it.
Yeah, this one doesn't do it for me.
Do you like this one?
Or is this
This is Prince Charming.
Oh.
I
like
mean,
I like when it kicks in it. Yeah. Again, the editing. It took them a while to get
He's
into it.
He's a dirty, dirty whore.
Progressive.
About that lyric. That's such a dumb lyric.
Actually,
45 in your mouth. I'm a dirty, dirty whore.
The opening part kind of sounds like Pearl Jam.
Yes.
I do not endorse.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Pearl Jam. Hot take.
Never got into it. Never got into it.
It's the worst of the grunge bands from Seattle.
You know what? Oh my God, that's hilarious. Do you know what's crazy? We still have about 16, like over 20 minutes worth of this album still. And we're that's how long this
and we're already
album
done with it. Like we're already done with it. Like no,
it's 12
I'm good.
minutes shorter than Load, so it's got that going for it.
Low Man's Lyric, Attitude.
This one.
No, my Low Man's Lyric sounds like they're trying to do like an Irish bar drinking song, but they don't execute on it. Like I picture a drunk fat guy with a long beard playing this at like a bar that says like live music. Like, you know, like that's this song.
They were trying several different things and none of them worked. This one totally took me by surprise when I did my first re-listen over the summer, and I was just like, I think my memory was protecting me from knowing that this was everything.
Yeah, it's not
so
good.
bad. It's really bad.
Like, what are you doing? Like
the trash pile's warm though.
Fuck no.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And then it just keeps getting worse in my opinion. Attitude.
Okay, that's I said, did they write this for WWE?
Yeah, it's just bad. It's just shit.
Yeah. And then they end on an 8-minute and 15-minute song. Fixer.
I like Fixer.
You like it?
Fixer. Yeah.
It's got King Nothing vibes to me.
3 X's in it.
It's the title's dumb as shit.
Yeah. Wait.
Fixer,
but I don't
the X's.
Yeah. Play the opening riff.
Let's see. How long does it take to get there?
Probably like 6 minutes. It's too long. Oh, it comes in slow.
Some noodling.
Bow, down and now. Yeah. Once again, how many seconds are we cutting out, Pico, by the time it jumps in? I need to know that.
So we're at 20 seconds now. It's still going. Okay.
Oh, and then we have the low bass. Yet, so. We have the low bass, and then it kicks in. They're probably about a minute of bullshit here.
Yeah. Now we're at 1:05.
Yeah, when that riff kicks in.
Minute 20 seconds around.
Way too long. Because I like the riff. Bow now, down now. But it's once again like if you filter that out and take an 8-minute song, make it a 5-minute song, much better song. Because that's one I probably forward through the front of it. I'm not gonna lie to you, like going old school, I also forward through the first minute of Damage Inc. because I don't need to hear that. Like, let me just get to the fucking riffage, you know. But yeah, I think I still like that song because I think the core part of the song is a solid song, but there's about 2 to 3 minutes of filler they could have cut out and made it a tighter song.
All right. This reload makes me exhausted.
It's fair. Let's go the rating.
Load has the nostalgia.
Get it over with.
The nostalgia factor. I don't think Reload even gets that much because what nostalgia? There's some decent tracks on it, but the nostalgia that you have, I only have enough nostalgia for one album worth, guys. Okay.
I mean, that's fair. I like your. You know, I'm a fan of hot takes. I like your hot takes. So you're saying it's not a yes or no. It's a fuck no.
I wouldn't say it's fuck no. I would say.
But those are the 3 options, Jeremy. Like, there's no like. Stop with the. It's a no thank degrees.
You. It's a no thank you. It's a no thank you.
Fucking gray area answer, bro.
I love it. It's a no thank you.
Son of a bitch, Jeremy. I love you, but you're a son of a bitch.
Thanks.
No offense to your mom. I didn't mean that like that.
That's what
I love you, Mom.
Well, you know, Jeremy's mom is a huge fan of the Nostalgia Test podcast. So
she is. She
always in the comments
every night.
She's trolling us in the comments.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But you know what, Jeremy? I thought I was going to be the only one. But I'm on your side. I only have enough
shit.
energy to kind of like deal with one of these, and it's gonna be Load. Even though I think in the beginning I said Reload was better, after going through it again with you guys, there's nothing for me here except for about maybe 3 songs. I don't know, and even that I'm just like, if I don't ever hear them, I'm okay. It's just
Put them
like,
out as a EP special, bonus
Yeah.
tracks with the Load reissue or something. We
Yeah.
didn't need 30 tracks of this.
Man, I guess
No.
I'm the outlier here because I'm gonna say it is nostalgic and that's it. For honestly, mostly for like Memory Remains and just like that and like Fuel. So I agree with your general assessment, Pico.
like two
The
songs.
like
First 2 tracks
overall,
of
there's
13.
probably 3 to 4 songs that are good on this, but like the
Yeah.
ones that are nostalgic hit me hard enough that I put it as, and this is nostalgic as opposed to complete shit.
Once
Yeah.
again,
Like
you
you'll
also
see when
have
if we
the
do the
logo from
one
that
album
era
when we
tattooed
do
on
the
your
one
body.
album build thing. I mean, I gotta fucking own it. I'm just kidding.
You're the
I
stand man.
I just think like this is the weaker album of the two, in my opinion. I think the entire back half of this, outside of Fixer, because I like that, I think is complete trash. Like
It's
once you
rough.
hit like song 5, and this is 12 or 13 songs, like songs like 6 through 12 or 11 are just bleh. Like
You know what it is?
Yeah.
There's no
Nothing.
semen on the cover. It doesn't speak to me.
Jesus.
Oh my God! I
They
think
got
there was
the blood.
it's got the blood
that
and
only
the
gets you so
piss.
far. Yes, that only
It's
gets
got-
you so far.
Yeah. Just to let you know that like obviously the reception was mixed, if not good at all. But
Yeah, what was it?
it was like it mixed to favorable reviews. Rolling Stone gave it 3 stars out of 5.
Rolling Stone.
All Music gave it 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Collector's Guide to Heavy Metal 7 out of 10, which I would have brought
What
that
did Robert
down even more.
Christgau say?
I don't know, bro.
This is
but
like a 2 out of 5
this is really not
at
good.
best. I think it's 2 out of 5.
But Metal Hammer included it in their list of top 10 albums of 1997. I don't think they listened to enough albums.
What else was on that? That's what I would like to know.
Yeah, I don't know, but even if we
I'm
just think
Googling
of
right now. Hold on.
albums we just think of albums that came out in like 1997, I mean there's like a million that were OK Computer, even Spiritualized, Ladies and Gentlemen, we are floating
great.
in space, that came out in 97. Other things
Okay.
that Time Out of Mind
Best-
was good by Bob Dylan. That's good.
Here we
Fucking-
go. Best metal albums of 97.
Mm.
There's some that we haven't heard of here. Electric Wizard, Come My Fanatics, never heard of it. Gamma Ray, Somewhere on Space, never heard of it. In Flames, Horacle. Much better fucking album than this.
Yeah.
Not even fucking close. I'm
Yeah.
just going to read the ones that we may know.
Yeah.
Sadistic Execution.
What?
Children of Bodom released their debut
Yeah,
album,
Bodom.
Something Wild, in '97.
There you go. Better.
That is a bunch of virtuosos 18. If you motherfuckers want to hear real metal, listen
Yeah.
to that over fucking Reload. Like
Dude.
any motherfucking day of the week.
Life After Death came
Deftones
out.
Around the Fur came out in '97.
Oh, and it was the first album from Rotting Christ.
And Rammstein.
Yes. Life After Death came out with Notorious
Ooh.
B.I.G.
People Bourgier and Throne
Hate
Darkness
Breed,
Triumphant.
Satisfaction to the Death of Desire, the first fucking Hate Breed album. Like
Good
that is
album.
a fucking great album. Like, yeah. Listen to any of the things we've just said
Yeah.
outside of this.
Dude.
Fucking Head PE's debut album. You remember that band Head PE?
Hell yeah.
That album came out in 97. I'd rather listen to that than Reload.
Didn't they have a
Super
guy whose
Duper
only
Fly by
job was
Missy
to
Elliott.
skateboard?
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of
See,
stuff
Jeremy?
came out in 97.
Did they have a guy in the band who only skateboarded?
No, they were the thing where like they had a shirt that said like shit talkers eat a fat dick, and
yeah.
on the front was a picture of like a dude with Nazi stars in his eyes, and I was
Oh
like,
my
I'm
God.
like, that's like punk imagery. I loved it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I
like,
remember hippie.
fuck Nazis.
Hey,
You
bartender.
listen to the podcast. Fuck Nazis.
Well, Mariah Carey came out with Butterfly in 97 too. That was a great album. And
Smooth
Be
segue.
Here Now by Oasis. That's a good
Oh,
album.
boy.
I love Be Here Now. I thought that was a good one.
Yeah, there's a lot of other good albums that are better than this one.
You're right. Wait a second. Like I'll put the Be Here Now had a lot of tracks just like Load and Reload, but I do think much stronger track by track in terms of like a better album. Fuck you, Jeremy. Like, you know, your silence pisses me off.
I'm just looking at another Elliott Smith's Either Or. That's a banger.
Blur came out. Portishead came out in album 97.
Ooh,
these are all
Dimmu Borgir. You remember? You guys ever listen to that? You said Dimmu Borgir?
Yeah.
Yeah, Enthroned Darkness Triumphant is a good song. That's like a symphonic black metal at its finest.
Okay.
Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death.
That's right.
Ooh.
Okay, now listen.
Faith No More.
This is where it gets difficult. We were gonna try to put a 10 album Load Reload album together with 10 tracks.
Oh man.
Should we do 12? Because we're talking about 13 plus 12.
Can we get 12?
8.
Let's do 10. That's fair. All right,
All
let's
right.
go. But
Jeremy, you want to start with something that you have?
Hey, my bitch. It's a keeper.
I mean, it's a keeper,
Yes.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, I'm putting
No
that
doubt.
on there. I mean, I had it as like my first, like the first track, and I was just like, yes, obviously.
100%. That's good.
Yeah. So, Billy, go ahead.
2x4. I said yes on this one.
I said no.
I'm saying no. I'm sorry.
That's fair. Hey, that's democracy, bro. Democracy at its finest. This democracy is better than the one in our country right now, people.
Oh, there we go again.
Sorry.
Here we go again. I mean, I'm going for like the ones that I know are going on. Fuel.
All right. Yes, 100%.
We're not going in order. Oh, Fuel's a keeper? Absolutely. And King Nothing? Those are absolute keepers.
King Nothing.
Do we do the absolute keepers first, by the way? Yeah, why don't we do that? All right. Let's
okay,
switch it
King
up,
Nothing's on there. So that's 3 now. So we have 7 more to go.
All right. Absolute keepers. Outlaw Thorn. I think we all agreed on that.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's going on there.
And Fixer.
Pico is not a big fan, but you and me like that one.
Then it goes on.
Yeah.
So Fixer, 3 X's. Okay.
Memory
There we go.
Remains.
Yes.
Yeah, 100. Jeremy, I know was on the fence, but you and me got that. So
we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 4 more if we're doing 10.
all right. What are our thoughts on Bleeding Me? I'm saying yes.
I was a no, because I thought that was too similar to Outlaw Torn.
It's tough.
It is, because it's like, it's not that
What
I'm
do you
trying
replace
to
it
be,
with?
because I had a question mark there, and I was like, am I really like, it does, like, I agree. Yeah, because do we
To me, it's like, what else? If we're going for 10, like, what else? Like the rest
until
of it
it
after we've
sleeps,
already.
like, would we like
I think Dan and I were both on for Hero of the Day.
I'm a no
Were
for
we?
that, clearly.
I know you are. I said in my notes,
All
sorry,
right.
Bubble, I don't hate this.
so we could do okay. So we could do, so if we do Bleeding Me, because I could vote yes on that, then
All right, so
I'm
we got
down
that.
for Hero of the Day though.
All right, that's fair.
All right.
So we got 2 left.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah,
All
10,
right.
8.
Now I think we need to go song by song with the ones we haven't talked about, right? Because I'm blanking on what the fuck else to
All
put
right.
on here.
2x4, I can do without.
I can't.
I'll vote no on that too. That's fine.
House of Jack built. Meh.
That's a borderline for me.
Yeah, that's a no for me. I can't. Wait, did we put King Nothing on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeremy, you
Until
said, are you borderline on House of Jack builds, or are you a no?
I was borderline.
All right, so we leave that as a maybe because Pico's the only one was 100% no. So we may need to come back to like, oh shit, like what do we do, right?
All right, so I'm gonna put it in italics. House that Jack built,
All right.
because we don't know.
Did we put Until It Sleeps on there already? Because I said
No.
no, but I said
I'd
no.
say no. If we got Memory Remains, we don't need Until It Sleeps too.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. That's
So that's a see ya,
Yeah.
buddy.
All right.
Oh,
And then we
man.
got everything. We went over everything through Bleeding Me. I think Cure, we're good with cutting.
Fuck you.
yeah.
Poor Twisted Me. We don't care.
Nope.
Ow.
I liked Wasting My Hate, and I think Bobo did too. But Dan
Yeah,
was
fuck. I'm gonna
What
go
song
with
was
Wasting My
that?
Hate. Ain't gonna waste my hate on you. I think I'll keep it for myself.
Okay.
I'm
We'll put
gonna go
that on
yes.
there. Wasting My Hate. Waste My Hate?
Wasting My Hate. I think that might do it for us for load because we ain't keeping Mama Said.
No.
We're not keeping Thorn Within, and
No.
Ronnie, we didn't
No.
get over that edge on that one. So
I put Ronnie in the if we need to go back. How many more do we need? 2 more?
Oh, so ooh. What about Unforgiven 2? Now, this is did we put that on there yet?
no,
No. I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna know. We're at 9, so we could
But
go
we
12.
still have. But we're
We
at
can go to
9.
12.
But we
I think
have
12 is
1,
fine.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here because we have House that
We should
Jack
do
built,
12.
and the house that Jack built was questionable.
Yes,
I think we should do 12 because when you're talking about 25 songs, you got to cut in half, right? So we're at
All
9.
right.
I think we need to pick 3 more.
All right, so we made it through.
So is House that Jack built a maybe, right?
Yeah.
Put it on the side for now.
Who
It's on
was
side.
a yes on that one?
I was. Jeremy was a maybe.
I was a maybe.
And so am I, like kind of a no maybe.
So that
Yeah.
sounds like it's leaning towards no. All right.
Yeah, it definitely is.
All right, so let's put Are we putting Unforgiven 2 on there?
I'm saying
No.
yes.
You guys both voted yes. I've voted
Yeah.
no.
I think it fits.
I feel like you have to at this point. Like it's just
In the
So
scheme
fine.
of shitty songs.
You guys are the Unforgiven too, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, what other songs haven't we touched?
Devil's Dance. Man,
yeah.
I'm gonna say
that'd
no.
be that's a maybe.
I don't even remember what that sounds like, and I just listened to it.
Boom,
Right,
yeah.
It's
I
not.
don't
It's
fucking know.
meh.
I don't even think you could get 12, Billy. I really think
Let's
it's
see.
like-
Let's shoot for 10 or 12 and see what we get to. I'm gonna say no
All right.
for Devil's Dance.
I'm saying no because
If we
I don't even
cut the-
remember it.
If we get
All
to
right.
the maybes, we cut them.
That's out. No Devil's Dance.
What's
All right.
next?
We did Unforgiven too, so Better Than You, which is a cut for me.
I liked it, but I think I was the only one, so that's fair.
Dan?
Yeah, I don't remember what it's. Well,
This one's like,
I can't-
Better than you.
Oh, yeah, no.
Better, yeah. So that's
It's out.
out.
I can't.
All right,
One,
Slither. I think that's out. I don't think anyone cared
No.
about that. Carpe Diem,
Fuck
baby. I liked it.
I'm-
Bill, is
I'm
that a
good.
keep for you?
No,
I fucking
No.
hate that song.
All right.
I don't hate it, but I'm willing to cut it because we're at crunch time.
Well, at that point, I think. All right, so I think there's really only one more song left that we have to discuss. All right, so we cut. Carpe
Pico,
Diem,
you're right.
Baby.
It's a 10-song album.
We don't want that. We don't where the wild things are. I liked Prince
No.
Charming. Anybody else saw him with Prince Charming?
No. Hell no.
Yeah.
No.
All right, Low Man's Lyric, Attitude.
Fuck off.
Just Fixer. We already have that as
Yeah.
So how many are we at now? We're
We're at
at
10.
9.
2, 3.
No,
4,
1,
5,
2,
6,
3,
7,
4.
8. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're 10 with House of Jack built as a bonus track.
Get rid of that. So fuck it.
All right,
That's our 10.
10.
What are our 10?
Aim My Bitch, Fuel, King Nothing, The Outlaw Torn, Fixer, The Memory Remains, Bleeding Me, Hero of the Day, Wasting My Hate, Unforgiven 2.
I'd listen to that album.
Yeah.
Maybe not
That's
for
it,
the
that's
10
it.
years since I just spent the last month doing
Look,
it. But
At the end of the day,
I
like
think
that's
that's a way tighter fucking album.
yes. Like,
I'm
is
gonna
it a
try to,
great
like,
Metallica
seek-
album?
I'm gonna try to sequence this album and put it out.
I
Yes.
was just thinking about
What?
that. I was literally like, all right, so you're gonna start.
What's
You don't
your
start
opener,
with 2
what's your
bangers in
closer?
a row. Fuck, I probably open with the Fuel because it's between Fuel and Ain't My Bitch, but I think Fuel is a better like pump you up, get right in the like just fucking go, you know, like start with that. And then you
start with Fuel.
And I think you put Ain't My Bitch in the back half to have that middle banger, you know. So let's think. All right, here's the biggest thing.
So
Let's
you
think
put
thrash era the way they structured. You always start with like a fast like banger, right? You know, like say, all right, we got it's either Fuel or Ain't My Bitch. I'm open to what you guys think. I think Fuel.
I think Fuel's fine.
Okay. But
Then you go into the title track, which is normally like, all right, so we got Ride the
no
Lightning,
Motor
Master of Puppets, and Justice for All. Fuck. None of them really fit great.
Well, I think it would have to be King Nothing or Bleeding Me, maybe.
I mean, I think you go into. I mean, it's right now it's like Fuel, King Nothing, Fixer, but that doesn't make sense. Fixer can't go there.
It's long. That needs to go. I think Fixer needs to be the closer because it's so fucking long.
But what about the Outlaw?
Outlaw Thorn.
One of those two needs to be in the closer. Yeah.
I think you put Fixer in the middle, like after Bleeding Me, and then it's Fixer, and then it's Ain't My Bitch right after Fixer.
Yes. So you bam, bam, bam. So all right. So we got Fuel. We need number 2. Do we go with Memory Remains because it's kind of like a sad but true kind of vibe where it's like heavy, like just bare bones?
Sorry, what did you say after Fixer?
Ain't My Bitch.
Yeah, I like that because Fixer's long and slow.
This is so compelling. Everyone's like listening to a sequence, like these 10 ridiculous Metallica songs that are good, but are totally not the best Metallica songs. They're like they're scraping these 2 albums.
Yeah, definitely need.
This is a podcast at this point for Metallica nerds. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right,
so we got Fuel.
We still haven't figured out what comes next.
I would say all right. So King Nothing 2, then Bleeding Me 3,
Fixer 4,
right?
Aim My Bitch 5.
Yep.
So it's but then switch. Okay, so then the Memory Remains. It goes so go Fuel, King Nothing, Bleeding Me, Memory Remains, Fixer.
No, Bleeding Me, Fixer. I thought it was.
That's 2 long songs in a row. Yeah, that's bad. I think I agree with Pico. We put Memory Remains between there because then you got Bleeding Me's like a 7-minute, and Fixer is like 6 minutes. So right, so you break it up with Memory Remains.
All right, and then Ain't My Bitch.
Yep.
Then we got Hero of the Day, Wasting My Hate, Unforgiven 2, and Outlaw Torn left.
It's What
were we coming off of?
Ain't My Bitch.
Ain't My Bitch.
And then you
I
got
would probably go.
You bring it down with Hero of the Day.
Oh, I'd say you either bring it down with Hero of the Day or Unforgiven 2, because you got high and you got to go like low after that. So one of those 2, I think.
All right, well, we'll do Unforgiven 2, then what comes next?
Wasting My Hate.
Hero of the Day, Outlaw Torn?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the mix.
All right, hold on.
Because you know what? Because the biggest problem I think on both these out. I think,
Unload?
End load. For Nostalgia Test.
Wait, okay, so it's
NP load.
All right, so it's Fuel, King Nothing, Bleeding Me, The Memory Remains, Fixer, Ain't My Bitch, Unforgiven 2, Wasting My Hate, Hero of the Day.
I thought it was Hero of the Day, then Wasting My Hate. No?
Wasting My Hate and then Outlaw Torn?
No, I have Hero of the Day written twice. My bad.
You don't want Hero of the Day going after Unforgiven 2. That's too low in a row. Like, you want to go up and down the back end.
It was my mistake. Unforgiven 2, Wasting My Hate, Hero of the Day,
Don't fuck it up again, Jeremy.
All right, so that's it. So I'm going to make a I'm going to make a playlist and put this out on Spotify and share it with everyone in the comments.
Call it Unload, Dan. Call it Unload.
Call it Unload.
Unload is a good one.
That's hilarious. Unload, but we don't have to put
the picture be like someone with a shotgun shell that's coming out, which would be much more badass than anything they put on either of their fucking albums.
I'm just going to take a picture of a grapefruit and then just put that.
No, you get one of those stock photos of the guy who experienced, premature ejaculation, sitting with his hands on his head on the edge of the bed, and his girlfriend with her arms crossed behind him, all disappointed.
Can't get it up, pussy.
Or it's like one of those Cialis commercials where it's like 2 people in a bathtub, but it's like facing a just sunset. A scorched earth or some sort.
2 people in the bathtub with a mushroom cloud.
Now that's still awesome.
That's metal. That's metal.
I think that playlist sounds good though. Like I feel like that would be like it's still not great, but if I heard that on one album, I'd be like, all right, this is like, all right, there's some entertaining stuff here. Like, it cuts out all the bullshit filler.
2 hours to make a mixtape.
Holy shit, people. Well, now one last question, and we're done.
Oh no.
How do you rank? Bringing this era, how do you rank the era of this. I'm gonna just
clearly
say,
superior to the thrash albums based on how highly we spoke of every track over the last 2 hours.
But just remember, like, we ranked thrash number 1 because we know that's gonna be number 1.
Yeah,
We got other shit coming forward, so remember, we got to think about that.
I think this is a nostalgic.
I don't know half of the shit coming forward, so how am I supposed to prepare for it?
I think this is a nostalgic era. I mean, I think the thing that keeps it alive is the Black Album. You know, that's it. The Load and Reload really, it makes the Black Album have to work extra hard in this fucking 90s era. Like,
I agree.
It's ridiculous. But I think it's
we'll
just
get to it later, though. I think there were other good things that came out of this period. The live album we talked about was great. S&M had its highlights, and
that's why we need to catch all one. Like, and we can't really rank it for an era. Maybe it's like we talk for half an hour about, like, hey, here's the crazy shit they put out over the years, like, just to show. Because I think, if nothing else, Metallica has kept things fresh with doing weird side projects and stuff. And it's like, some of them hit, some of them don't. I thought S&M was cool. I think the fucking Garage Inc. album is cool. I've never listened to Lulu. Like, I will listen to Lulu for this podcast and probably want to cut my wrist, but I will do it.
It's not going to be good.
But it's like I will give them credit for that.
Yeah,
they've swung on some things, and a lot of them during this era that hit, in my opinion. You know, like, you know, I thought that, you know, you had a lot of bands doing the symphony. You don't picture Metallica doing a symphony. I thought it was executed pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna say, for these 3 albums, it's a nostalgic 3-album era for me, like studio album wise.
I agree with you. If I have to say, yeah, it's nostalgic over, like, still good overall. And when we're talking about, like, ranking periods, I would put this as, because with the 4 periods we're gonna do, we do thrash, we do this, we're gonna do Basis Saint Anger on its own, and then like the end or whatever. I would rank this as number 3.
Yeah,
because I right now, like, thrash number 1. This is number 3 era for me.
You saying you like the contemporary era better?
Yes. Correct.
All right.
Well,
we'll get to that later, but that's my ranking.
And I think at the end of all this,
there might be a new era.
Exactly. And then maybe
I may have jumped the gun. Maybe we should rank that at the very end. So
it's okay.
Cut that part out. I jumped the gun.
Sure, cut it out. So yeah, I think what we'll do is, like, when we get to the end, we'll rank all these albums together. But guys, this was a good one. This was quite a journey. My God, so much that we ran out of disk space on my computer, and hopefully everything will be okay.
Technology.
My God, I hope it's all okay. Because if it's not,
I told you not to use your Commodore 64 for this.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
Nostalgic.
I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind if this, dear God. But everyone, post your comments. How do you rank these 3 albums? But also, like, this era, and, like, did we get it right? Listen to our version of this. Listen to Unload by the Nostalgia Test Podcast.
Unload will be better than anything you've heard of listening to both these together.
Yeah, I think Unload is amazing.
I can fucking guarantee that.
Listen to Unload. Give us some feedback, and we will be back with another era once we figure it out what it's going to be. But guys, thank you so much, Jeremy, Billy, once again. Peace.
Fucking metal, bro. Love you guys.
Peace. Later, bros.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test Podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter @Nostalgia Test and on Instagram @The Nostalgia Test. Tune in next time, because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.